YouTube was fined by the FTC $170 million for violating children's privacy, collecting data from them without their parents' permission. So apparently there's a law to protect children from being advertised to. Because they say, and rightfully so, that kids cannot distinguish the difference between an advert and content. They don't know when they're being marketed to. And therefore, it's inappropriate to market to kids and to collect data and to use them kind of to as a selling point. Because I know that on YouTube, for example, the kids market is the most valuable market. Like on the best month, I'll get like $3 CPM. That's like my best month ever. Kids content, I'm talking 10.
Do you want to explain CPM for anyone who doesn't understand?
Yeah, so that's how many dollars you get per 1,000 views, essentially, on your channel. And it's based on auctioning. It's based on demand. So because so many people are bidding on views for kids' content, apparently because it's so valuable, YouTube, I guess, has been violating that law because they allow targeting ads on kids' content. Take, for example, the most popular kids channel, one of the most popular channels on YouTube itself, Ryan's Toy Review. Now, this channel is made, look at it, obviously for kids. So when advertisers are served ads on this and YouTube is giving you data and info, they're saying, hey, that's a violation of this child protection and advertisement law. So YouTube has been fined $170 million, and now they're also being forced to make enormous changes to the platform. For example, in the next 4 months, pretty much all YouTube Kids content is going to be largely demonetized. Demonetized, dude. That's insane. That is so much money that's going to evaporate off the platform.
That means they're just not going to make videos. Why would they?
People who make kids videos, there's literally no reason other than for love of the game. But maybe that's not even enough because, for example, they say, in 4 months, we will treat data from anyone watching kids' content on YouTube as coming from a child regardless of the age of the user. This means that we will limit data collection and use on videos made for kids owing to what is needed to support the operation of the service. We will stop serving personalized ads on this content. Also, some features will no longer be available, like comments and notifications.
Wow.
Creators will be required to tell us when their content falls into this category. We'll also use machine learning to find videos that are clearly targeting young audience. We have these.
So for example, like the ads that run before a video.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about.
So
like a toy company.
Yes.
Is targeting specifically that because they know kids are watching.
Right.
And so they're not allowed to do that.
Basically, you can no longer specifically buy ads on kids' content on YouTube.
Huh.
And the reason the CPM was so high is because there's so much competition because it's such a valuable market that when so many bid on it, it goes up to $10, where maybe ours is like 1, 2, or 3, depending on the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting.
I didn't know that was a law, but it makes sense the more you think about it.
It does make sense, and I think it was intended more for like, I don't know. I guess the internet maybe, I don't know. But I think YouTube was certainly just kind of hoping no one would go there, you know?
I just wonder, where does it start and where does it end? Like, how do you define exactly what's in that criteria?
It's an age. There's like, they say under like 8.
It's 13, actually.
Oh, up to 13.
Under
wow.
13.
Like, what about Jake Paul's videos with the buy the merch, you know?
So
and he's got kids watching.
I don't think they say, well, here, they specifically say, creators will be required to tell us when their content falls into this category. We'll also use machine learning to find videos that clearly target young audience. For example, those that have an emphasis on kids' characters, themes, toys, or games.
Okay.
So they would probably categorize his as teenager.
Okay.
But they certainly wouldn't have kids' adverts on it. And I think that's the big issue, right? So that's
the law that they got fined on wasn't specifically that they were advertising to kids. It was that they were collecting data on the kids.
Right. They were. Well, the data they were collecting was
to be used for advertising.
Was
It's
basically
connected.
it's connected because advertisers came on the platform and they said, I want to serve ads to kids. And
Right.
so, well, how did they get that? Through the data.
Exactly.
So it's that has made all this now impossible. And so by disabling interest-based ads, people can no longer target them. And I don't know who checks not interest-based ads because you don't know where it's going to end up. Like, who doesn't target their ads at all? If you want to say male, female, age bracket, geographical location. I don't think there's going to be much money there. It's just going to be really weird, cheap shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, it's super weird. So there's no incentive, financial incentive, and the views are going to be hamstrung now too, because notifications and comments are being disabled on all this content. It's a huge, huge change.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it will affect. I've been trying to tell YouTube for so long. I make content for adults. 18 to 35 male is our primary demographic.
And a female, but
Well, yeah. It's like 75-25.
yeah.
And I always say, YouTube, that's the most valuable cross-section in traditional media. Why the fuck don't you guys care about us? It's because all their money was in kids. And they were breaking the fucking law, too.
Look at the views.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you guys this. Bro, you want to see some crazy shit? 1.8 billion. Yes, that's a B. 1.8 billion. You want to see what this dumb fucking video is? It's not even interesting or unique or huge egg surprise. 1.8 billion.
Are they going to claim us?
Okay, Ryan, are you ready to find the egg?
Yeah, they were gonna need to because there ain't no money left.
I'm desperate.
The audio is ass.
One, nice. What else? What else?
I don't know how. This channel's so weird. How did they put their kid up to doing all this shit? Like even to this day, this kid's doing all this. I mean, it looks
Well,
pretty
I'm
fun.
sure he's having fun.
Yeah, they buy him all the crazy shit.
Yeah.
This kid's gonna end up like.
Oh, you got one in there?
The question is how he's gonna feel about it when he's older.
Nice.
Right,
Look-
he's a
looking
child
back.
actor. He's a child
Yeah.
actor. I mean,
Essentially, yeah.
so and essentially, I give him about. He's probably. Let me just put it this way: if Michael Jackson was around, he'd be friends with this kid.
Oof. Come on.
Yeah. So this.
I mean, he
has-
may feel some negativity towards it, but assuming his parents are following the law, when he turns 18, he's going to have millions.
What
millions
law
of
is
dollars.
that, Dan? Because this
There's
is
child acting laws.
exactly. This is YouTube. Does it apply?
What
Oh,
is
that's
the
a good
law about
question.
child acting? I don't know.
There's a bunch of kids who like their parents ran off with their fortune, which is so
It
fucking
used to
insane.
happen in Hollywood a lot, and
Wow.
so
Can
they've
you believe
cracked
that
down,
shit?
and they're required to
My
put the
parents
money
would
in
do
a
that to me.
trust.
I feel like my parents would do that to me.
It's called the Coogan Law.
Oh,
There you go.
Zach, how come you're so knowledgeable about the Coogan
He's
law?
studying into
Pre-law, baby.
the Kegel,
pre-law.
the Kegel laws. My parents would totally do that to me. They'd be like, "It's for your college fund," and then I turn 18. I'm like, they're like, "Yeah, we paid for college." I'm like, "What about like the 30 million else?" They'd be like, "We paid for your college, Ethan. Be happy." Anyway, this has almost 1.9. Sorry, please. I issue a correction. 1.9 billion with a B. Flabbergasted by that. But so channels like this. Now, this is where it gets real interesting for me too. Is that? Wait, I think I. So channels like this one, the FTC is saying they're going to be targeting as well, because they estimated, a media group estimated that 90% of all of their videos are sponsored. With, well, here, this guy explained.
correct.
Or this guy, Philly D, explained.
This guy.
I thought it was a different video. Is this
Reporters
distracting
accuse the
or
channel's
great?
administrators of deceiving children through sponsored videos that often have the look and feel of organic content. According to Truth in Advertising, nearly 90% of the Ryan Toys review videos have included at least one paid product recommendation aimed at preschoolers, a group that they say is too young to distinguish between a commercial and a review. And that distinguish argument is one of the key things here. As explained in a New York Times article on this, Josh Gollin, who's the executive director of the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, reportedly said many children do not recognize advertising until they are 8 or 9 years old. Some videos on YouTube channels like Ryan Toys Review have noted sponsored content in small type that appears briefly, he said, or through a voiceover thank you to the retailer or manufacturer that provided products. And Gollin goes on to argue, a 5-year-old isn't going to understand that Ryan's talking about the toys because Target is paying him to talk about the toys. There may be some disclosure, but disclosure isn't meaningful to a child that young. Now, as far as the other side of this, Ryan's father released a statement saying,
So they're going after the individual channels now, too, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it does kind of raise an interesting point. I mean, 90% of his videos are sponsored, and they fit organically into the video. It's not like on our pod when we have sponsors, we go thank you to Honey or whatever. Da 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 da. They're clearly a sponsor, but here, it's all what they would call like integrated ads, where it's like, I'm playing with this Play-Doh brand who paid me
Well, like they
$100,000.
showed, even if you put a little link, a little title at the top of the video, a kid wouldn't really understand what that is.
That works for someone like me who wants to disclose that I have a copy read and a sponsor. But yeah, it's very true. I mean, at this level, the level that their channel is, these guys get like 300 million views. These guys are like a Dude, these guys probably make at least $50 million a year. This is like a huge
I
machine.
think they were at the list of the top
Yeah.
earning channels. Like
They're
they were
right
number
up there
one,
next
no?
to PewDiePie.
Right.
Weren't they number one?
I think they were number one.
I think they were.
Exactly. They may. So at that level, you have lawyers, you have people. I mean, these guys are well familiar with the law.
You want to know something crazy, though? I just looked it up. The Coogan law that Zach just brought up doesn't apply to YouTubers.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, not accusing that maybe they're great and they are, setting aside a ton of money for their kid when he grows up, but they're not required to. They could just spend it if they wanted to.
I met the dad at YouTube Creator Studios. He seemed like a normal, nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I met him briefly. I don't know. I'd be surprised if they did that, but again, just the possibility.
Right.
There's no protection.
There is no protection. It's just leaving it up to them being good people.
So Ryan Toys Review channel made 22 million, and it was the number one earning channel of 2019. I think.
What? It made more than 22 million if it's number one.
That's what
they
it's
say that
reported
PewDiePie
as.
made like $70 million last year.
No, no.
I saw.
This is a CBS News article.
Is this just from the YouTube
That's
ad
just-
revenue?
yeah,
Because
it
that
could
might
just
not
be
be
ad
counting
revenue.
their integrations.
I don't know how they come into the number exactly, but they have like Logan Paul at 14 million, PewDiePie at 15 million.
It must just be the AdSense. I saw one that was like adjusted for merch and stuff. Well, anyway, whatever.
It says they're taking into account their video advertising, merchandise deals, and other sources of revenue. So
I thought they would be making more than that. Well, anyway, that's a lot of money. Clearly,
2 million.
yeah. Well, anyway, so this channel is the number one.
They're number one regardless, and so they certainly are familiar with the law. There's no way you make that much money and you don't know your industry in and out and your legal liabilities. 0% chance of that. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm sure they're hedging their bet. They're like, dude, whatever fine we get. Same for YouTube. They paid $170 million bucks. Dude, they probably made billions. Not billions, but hundreds of millions.
I saw an article estimate that that $170 million fee is less than their revenue in one day, a single day.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. For
Revenue.
YouTube? Not Google, YouTube.
Probably Google.
Yeah, Google, that makes sense. YouTube is a different.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, interesting stuff. So I wonder how that's going to affect us. I wonder if that's going to increase our CPM as the pool decreases. But I don't think toy stores are necessarily going to want to promote, Hot Wheels on our podcast.
But if they can't target, they can't target, right?
They can't target kids.
Then it's just general.
They could target anyone but kids.
Mm-hmm.
They could target parents.
Mm-hmm.
They could target, they could target parents. We got parents. I'm a parent. You want to advertise Hot Wheels? I'm here. And it's all legal, baby. All legal, all day, all the time.
If you look in the banner of the Ryan's Toy Review YouTube channel, he looks like he has a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is correct. The main point that FTC complaint report.
Yeah, I saw that. So there you have it. What do you think, Hila?
I cannot believe it. This is gonna be another one of those big changes. And then people will be like, remember the days when
When you can make kids content? When you become a billionaire?
some of those family channels are huge.
The biggest. They're huge.
So,
I mean, Ethan Bradbury, for Christ's sake, used to be raking in the kids' dough.
yeah.
You know the world's ass backward when Dennis TV and Ethan Bradbury can make hundreds of thousands of dollars entertaining kids. But the truth is that there's so many bizarre, weird, twisted kids content that's been on there for so long, and this is going to outright stop all of that because
Yeah.
these people are only motivated by easy money. And they said we're establishing a $100 million fund dispersed over 3 years dedicated to the creation of thoughtful, original children's content on YouTube. So they want to keep the market, but I guess they got to just fund it themselves.
Yeah, they'll just kind of turn into their own Nickelodeon, basically.
Mm.
But I wonder how they're going to make money from that. Maybe they'll have a premium service. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's probably a good thing and inevitable. Everyone made his money for as much. They made as much money as they could before they knew they were going to get shut down. And now the party's over, and I'm still here, YouTube, waiting for the little recognition. I ain't breaking the law. You know, I find it funny. That's like the ultimate hypocrisy of YouTube. Like if you look at the CEOs of YouTube and Google, they're like the most socially conscious, social justice warrior people on the planet. Yet, when it comes to child's privacy, they're like, oh, well, we are socially conscious, but when it comes to making money, I'll fucking sell out these stupid little cocksuckers any fucking day. That's $1 billion. Fuck you. I'll break the law. It's really like that.
I just wonder if it's really like that and how.
Well, sure, they rationalize it.
I guess.
But at the end of the day, their lawyers sure as fuck know they're breaking the law. You know what I mean? I'm sure in their mind they try to be conscious about it, but they're like, hey, this guy wrote a memo that people were offended by, so we're gonna fire him and make a whole big hubbub about promoting, LGBTQ creators. But in the meantime, we're gonna make $1 billion violating children's privacy. I swear to God, it's like.
It's all PR, you know? And at the end of the day, their business, they're looking to make money. That's the number one priority.
It's
Everything
the number one
else is
priority.
secondary.
Absolutely,
Yep.
it is. They're Google. Their business is sucking money up like a vacuum, dude.